The Backrooms, the mysterious and seemingly unescapable expanse you go to when you're unlucky enough to have no clipped out of reality. Made up of an infinite number of levels, the Backrooms have not yet been fully explored, much less built in LEGO. But in this series, all that changes. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 1 of building the entire Backrooms in LEGO. Throughout this video series, I'll be building the first 9, aka the most important levels of the infamous Backrooms. The Backrooms actually has an infinite number of levels, but building all of them would be physically impossible, both in the time it would take and the fact that most of these levels are still undiscovered and no reference exists of them. To give a little bit of context, the Backrooms is an urban legend slash creepypasta that was first created when an anonymous account posted this image on the platform 4chan in May of 2019 with the even more disturbing caption, "If you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbos, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you." Since the posting of this photo, many creepypasta writers have expanded the concept of the Backrooms, with the most notorious depiction of this strange alternate universe being a series of videos made by VFX artist Kane. The link to the playlist with all his Backrooms videos will be in the description. Now that you're all caught up, let's jump into the first episode. So in this first episode, I'll be building what is known as Level 0, or the lobby. This is by far the most recognizable room, and it's the one depicted in the original 4chan post. Chances are, if you no clip out of reality, you'll end up in Level 0. For this entire series, I'll be building the levels on a 12x12 base, and then stack them modularly to represent the layout of the Backrooms. For Level 0, I'll be using light yellow for the monochromatic wallpapered walls, and dark tan for the old moist carpets. I'll also be building a surface level to represent reality, where the bottom can represent Level 0's ceiling with the fluorescent lights. But before I could get building, I needed to make some minifigures. For this level, I decided to make the famous bacteria-like entity that haunts the lobby, as well as an async scientist. In the Kane series, the Backrooms were opened by a company called Async in the 1980s in an attempt to find storage solution to avoid issues from the rapidly growing population of the world. Once the Backrooms were opened, Async would send teams of scientists dressed in yellow hazmat suits to explore and map out the levels, mainly the lobby. To build the scientist, I used the torso, legs, and mask from the CMF Series 4 Hazmat Guy figure, as well as a black face, since you never see the scientists' faces throughout Kane's series. The back of the mask has an exposed stud, so I placed a 1x1 corner tile to represent the Async logo. As accessories, I built a small briefcase using 2 parts, which the scientists are seen carrying around almost always, as well as a classic camcorder, as the scientists had to document their findings when in the Backrooms. For the entity, I drew heavy inspiration from a design I found online by Huzzbuzzer Tim. The link to their rebrickable will be in the description. I used a bunch of miscellaneous black parts to capture the entity's very tall silhouette and its very thin limbs, as well as its large head. Now that the minifigures were ready, it was time to start building. To gather enough light yellow parts, I had to completely massacre my Fiat 500. Here's a stock photo of what it looked like before, since I forgot to record it intact, and here it is now, with all the useful light yellow parts in a separate bag. Look at all those sweet pieces. After laying down the founding 12x12 area, it was time to build the floor, and with the magic of editing, here it is done. As you can see, I used dark tan tiles for the moist carpet and alternated it with some plates to add some texture. I included a few exposed studs for the entity and scientist, as well as the corpse of who is believed to be missing teenager Nicholas Bolton. In the Kane series, the scientists find a corpse whose identity was never confirmed, but resembles the face of teenager Nicholas Bolton, who went missing in the videos. To build Bolton, I mashed together a generic teenager figure and zombie Captain America, and here he is. So after about a few hours more of building, I've managed to finish off the walls. But as you can see, the back looks like a total mess, so we'll just ignore that. After placing the minifigures, I'm really happy with how this first part is turning out. Now that we're done with level 0, it's time to build the surface, aka reality. Okay, it's day 2 of building, and it's time to build the surface. So for the surface, I'm again going to use a 12x12 base, and I'm thinking of building the scene where Kane actually no clips at the very beginning of the series. In this scene, Kane is a cinematographer about to shoot a wide angle with what I assume are his friends. This scene involves a red shipping container on a small patch of grass surrounded by concrete. I'm going to include Kane filming and the actor wearing that creepy monkey looking mask. Let's get building. So as you can see in this time lapse, the first thing I did was set up the 12x12 base and lay out a corner that would be the grass area with the container in it. I then tiled the concrete area, including including some white tiles to represent the road divisions, and then began building a snot structure for the container walls. The container ended up looking like this, and I'm pretty happy with it. Now onto the minifigures. For Kane, I used the Daily Bugle Peter Parker minifigure and changed out the hair for Bucky Barnes. I think this looks most accurate based on pictures I found online. For an accessory, I gave him a film camera since I didn't have another camcorder. For the kid wearing the monkey mask, I used all black parts for the torso and legs, as well as a gorilla mask from Lego Chima. After placing the minifigures, the surface was done. After placing the surface level on the lobby, I had a better idea of where the lights would go, and I made them using transparent 1x2 tiles, with a few lights being in black translucent parts to represent lights that don't work, which sometimes are found in the back rooms. And after 2 days of work, this episode's build is done. If there was any part of this video you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss when the next episode drops. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.